Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you is a new subscriber, let me know in the comment section down below how you found my page. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for tuning back in again to see my face and what I have to say. Okay, and as y'all can tell by the title of this video what it's gonna be about, I started this segment on my channel a year or two ago when I was being active, and now I'm restarting it back up now that I'm taking my page more seriously. And this part of my channel is called Blunt Spills, where I will be giving advice to my subscribers and just on topics in general. It's like a chit chat type segment where we just talk and I give you my honest opinion on certain different topics. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, anyways, so as y'all can tell by the title, today's blunt spills will be about friendships and relationships, because hopefully we all have friends, you know, at least one, whether it's in person or online. I hope everybody at least has one friend. And not everybody's in a relationship, but I know a lot of people want to get in a relationship. So we're going to be talking about how friendships last, how they work, what makes them work, what to do in fights, along with relationships, and also how to get, you know, a guy to like you. Okay, so let's get into it. The first segment of our video is going to be friendships. So most people can make friends, you know, not everyone, but if you're somebody who's able to make friends, great. If you're not able to make friends, here's how you do it, okay? When you're making friends, you have to find someone with a common interest, because that's a quick conversation starter. And if you, let's say you know somebody in your life that you want to be friends with, but you don't know how, because you guys have common interests and things like that, but you don't know, how do I start being their friend? I can't just walk up to them. That seems weird. Or I can't just message them on Instagram and say, hey, I want to be friends. That's weird. I mean, you can. Some people, hey, go big or go home. You know what I mean? But if you do want to make friends, and let's say there's somebody you have in mind, a quick or easy way to do that is, let's say you have them on social media, is a quick, let's say they post something on their story, like, oh my gosh, this is so cute on you. And then once they reply with a thank you, hopefully they reply with a thank you, you can go ahead and start with, oh, where did you get it? Oh, I have something similar. Oh, I love your style. This is what I do with my style. Boom. Instant conversation right then and there. Because people love talking about themselves, no matter how humble the person is. Everyone loves talking about themselves, and if it's not specifically about themselves, they love talking about their interests. So if you can get somebody started on their interests, whether it's clothes, shoes, hair, for men, sports, games, I don't know what men talk about. But yeah, for girls, if you want to make a friend, talk about hair, clothes. If they posted something that they want to start in life, like starting a book club, if they're into books, or if they're starting a new business, be like, okay, how can I support your business endeavors? You know, just small things like that to get somebody a conversation going, and boom, just keep it going like that. So now we're going to move on to how to maintain a friendship, because friendships can be hard to maintain because people have honestly different personalities. You interact to situations differently than other people. So the main and first thing and the biggest thing I have to say is communication, because so many things go left when you don't communicate. Because one misread conversation or misunderstood conversation, especially through like text message, what a lot of us do these days, can send a friendship down the toilet. So make sure you're communicating what you mean effectively, especially if it's a serious and important topic. If you can, try to have that conversation in person, because that way they'll know, they'll see your facial expressions, they'll see your tones and everything like that, and they can't, you know, people are still going to interpret how you're reacting, but it's easier for them to interpret that than instead of text messages where your tone might come off as more harsh or mean or like you don't really care. So yeah, y'all see my little Debbie Ryan? And I got my eyebrows done, you guys. Okay, anyways, let's focus. So yeah, make sure you're communicating, okay? And then also in a friendship, always express your feelings. If you're not comfortable with something, say that. If something they're doing is making you feel insecure, uncomfortable, something that's within their control, you know what I mean? Like, you can't control how somebody reacts to you as a person or reacts to your friend group. You mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, when guys, let's say, like, if you're hanging out with your group of girls outside in public and a guy approaches you guys, you can't really fault her for that because she can't control a man's actions. But let's say in that interaction with a dude, she starts saying embarrassing stories about you to make herself look good, or, you know, just things like little tidbits like that. Tell them you're feeling like, after the situation has passed, like, and the person has left, be like, hey, I didn't like when you did that because it made me feel X, Y, and Z. If it's something that they control, by all means, express your feelings. If it's something out of control, like, let's say the way they look, like, let's say somebody has a more ideal body type in your opinion, and you feel like they look better than you, if that's something they can't control. I mean, yes, you could work out and stuff, but if somebody has a body type that you would like, and you feel some type of way about that because of the attention they receive because of that, she can't do anything about her body. Especially if she likes her body the way it is, you can't fault her for that. So, more so express your feelings when it comes to actions, not more so things that they can't change. So make sure it's things that you know, like, they have control of. If they don't have any control of it, then you have to check your personal biases and what you're going through and your mentality and why you feel the way you do about certain situations. So, yes, expressing feelings and communicate. Next thing is make sure you spend time with your friends, because that's how a lot of friendships go sour, is when you don't spend time with each other. I'm not saying you have to spend time with each other 24/7, because if you're somebody my age, I know all of our friends don't go to the same school because we're in college. Or even if you're in high school or middle school, your friend might go to a different middle school or a different high school. Just try and spend time together or hang out together in person when you can. And if you can't, make sure you're texting each other sometimes. Make sure you're, FaceTime each other or calling each other on the phone in case you don't have iPhone or Google FaceTime. What is Google Hangouts or whatever? Just make sure you're spending time communicating at least maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks. So, make sure you guys are like, hey, how are you? How you're doing? I've missed talking to you. What, something new you've gotten into? Just make sure you're keeping up with your friends. You're checking on your friends. You're making sure that they're okay while they're making sure you're okay. And then boundaries. My next point is boundaries. Boundaries are so freaking huge. And what I mean by boundaries is, let's say you don't like people using your things because whatever personal reasons. Be like, hey, don't use my things or don't use X, Y, and Z without asking me because it makes me uncomfortable. Boom. And if they can't respect that, they're not your friend. Plain blank, period. There's no runaround around it. No. If you say something as a boundary, you're saying, hey, this makes me uncomfortable, don't cross this line, and they can't respect you enough to not cross that line, then you gotta look at them like, what's not clicking? What's not clicking? If I spoke my feelings and I told you how I feel, respect it. If you can't respect it, bounce. Plain blank, period. Boundaries are so important, and boundaries aren't just physical things of whether it's physically touching, because I know I'm a hugger. I like to hug. No, I lied. I'm really not a hugger. Some of my friends are huggers, so that I'm okay with them being huggers with me, but I'm not hugging everybody in the function. No. Okay? And if you're somebody you don't like to be touched, make that a boundary. Be like, no, don't touch me. Like, we're friends and we can hug once in a while, but constant hugging, no. If that's something you don't like, let it be known. Or when people are joking, me and my friends, we joke about each other all the time. We make fun of each other all the time. But it's certain things with each other that we don't make fun of because we know it makes the other person insecure. We know it makes the other person feel uncomfortable. So if you feel insecure about something and you don't want it to be made fun of, say that. Be like, hey, I know it could be hard. Like, let's say you're not a verbal person, because I'm not a verbal person. Sometimes it's easier for me to write stuff down than say it in person. Just text the person and be like, hey, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be nasty. I'm not trying to do anything, but X, Y, and Z makes me uncomfortable. Or when you joke about X, Y, and Z, it makes me uncomfortable because I'm insecure about X, Y, and Z. So when you make fun of it, it doesn't make me feel good. That's it. If your friends can't respect that, then are they really your friends? Are they really your friends if they can't respect that something makes you feel uncomfortable? If you don't want your weight to be a joke, the butt of the joke, then leave it at that. If you or somebody that struggles with your intelligence, like you don't like to be called stupid because of past experience or whatever the case may be, say that. You don't want your size to be made fun of, say that. You don't want your clothes to be made fun of, say that. You don't want your hair to be made fun of, say that. You can joke around with friends in other ways that doesn't involve their insecurity. If your friend constantly rags on your insecurity despite you speaking your mind, despite you making it known, hey, this is an insecurity, leave it alone, it's out of line, don't touch it, and they still do it, that is not your friend. That is somebody who sticks around and bullies you and pretends to be your friend because it makes them feel good. There are plenty of bullies. Bullies are not always your enemies or your nemesis that you can outright see. Bullies are sometimes your friends who say they're your friend, but are really just around you to make themselves feel better by making fun of you or playing on your insecurities. Please be mindful of that. Please be mindful of that. And that leads me to my next point about friendships and how to make them last is treat each other like equals. You and your friends should be equal. If you and your friend are doing something, you should be rooting for them as much as they're rooting for you. Point blank, period. You should want to see your friend win in life. Even if it's before you win. Even if it's before you make it, you should still want to see your friend do good in life. And if you don't want to see your friend do good in life, like you're jealous or whatever, step back and be like, okay, why am I feeling this way? Why am I not happy for somebody I call my friend? You know what I'm saying? Or if you're somebody you have friends, but anytime you go into new endeavors or you're trying something new and you always got this one friend ragging on you, you got to step back and be like, why are you ragging on me? Why is she ragging on me? Like, what's going on to make her feel this way or treat me this way? Is it a pattern? Because if it's a pattern, it's an issue. If it's a pattern, it needs to be addressed. And if it's the first time, nip it in the bud right there. Right then and there. I know it could be uncomfortable because I hate confrontation. Confrontation, no way, Jose. I hate it. It's the most annoying thing in the world, but I've gone to a point in my life where it's like, if I want respect for myself, I have to tell people to give me respect. If I'm respecting other people, I expect the same respect, and you're going to give it to me. Even if I gotta remind you, you're going to give it to me. And if you can't give it to me, cut off. I'm not being around nobody who doesn't respect me as a person, a human being. Point blank, period. And if you're sitting here listening to this and you're like thinking of some people that come into mind that treat you some type of way, you need to reevaluate that friendship. You need to ask yourself, why are you friends with this person? Is it because they're actually your friend and they help you grow in life and you help them grow in life? Or is it because it's convenient? Because y'all happen to run in the same friend group and you like that person but you don't like that person. Even if your friend is in a friend group, you don't have to associate with that person. You don't. Nothing's forcing you. I know because you might be in school, so they might be around. You could be cordial all day long, but you don't got to test that person. You don't got to go out with that person. If you don't want to hang out outside of school with that person, don't do it. You could be cordial. And if it's something if the event is not for you or a group thing where everybody makes a decision, if it's for like a specific friend, a mutual friend, then yeah, I can understand being cordial outside. Other than that, don't subjugate yourself to unnecessary drama. Like, don't do it. Alright, so a lot of things I said also applies to relationships, so keep that in mind. I just have a couple more tidbits about relationships, but I'm gonna finish, the friendship first. So my next point about friendships is, if you get in a fight, how do we work it out? Because a lot of times people get into fights and everybody's too prideful to say, oh, I was wrong, or you were right, or whatever the case may be. Sometimes you just gotta be like the bigger person. It might be so annoying to be the bigger person, but you just gotta do it sometimes. If you're always the bigger person, then maybe you should check that person, okay? If you're always the bigger person, meaning you're always the one compromising, then you need to check your friend. But let's say it's always 50-50, it's always good to compromise, okay? And then once you guys actually work through it, and by work through it, I don't mean, oh, we fought for a couple days and now I miss you, so we're gonna act like that didn't happen so we could be friends and hang out again. No, because the problem's not really fixed. Y'all just brushing it under the rug. So make sure you guys and you guys gotta write out how y'all feel. Both of y'all write out how y'all feel so that nothing gets misconstrued or nothing, or comes out of that. Then do that. Fix the problem and then move on. And then when you do move on, you don't bring back past discretions. You don't do that. Unless it's a continued pattern that you're seeing, then by all means be like, hey, we talked about this, but you're still doing it. That's different instead of, oh, you got mad at her because whatever. I don't know what people get mad about these days. Let's say I got mad because the boy you likes her. or she likes the boy that you like, so y'all a little looking at each other like, how can we like the same person? Don't bring up old stuff that has nothing to do with the arguments and feel like you trying to win. No, don't do that. All right, try to compromise if you can. Don't go for low blows, meaning don't go for stuff that you know they're insecure about, whether it's family, physical, whatever. You don't go for low blows. I know sometimes you be in the heat of the moment, but it's always important to speak your mind. I mean, it's important to speak your mind, but it's always important to be mindful of what you say and how it affects that person, because you never truly know what somebody is going through mentally, and maybe whatever you just said was like their last straw and they do something to themselves or they do something to somebody around them. So words are powerful no matter what anybody tells you. Words are powerful and they have an effect on people. So just be mindful. Try not to go for low blows. I know you can't control your emotions sometimes when you're in the moment, but if you can, stop for a minute and think, if I say this next thing, will it be okay? Will she be okay? So yeah. And what else? I don't know. So let's move on. So the next tidbit is relationships. And relationships can be very tricky because they're like friendships. Relationships are like friendships. You know, you guys hang out, you have common interests, you know. But they can be tricky because now we are in new territories, because it's somebody that you're kissing, you're going out with, and like you're meeting family, and it's like you guys are getting to know each other on a more intimate level, and a different type of intimate than like a friendship intimate, okay? So you just gotta be like, you know, same with friendships, set boundaries. If there's something that you don't like in a relationship, let that be known now. Like, let's say you guys go on a date, you don't want that person on their phone 24/7. In the beginning of the relationship, say that. Or if you're somebody like you're not looking for a relationship, but you still want to kind of, you know, get to know somebody, say that in the beginning. Hey, I'm not looking for a relationship. Hey, I am looking for a relationship. And if you're somebody that's looking for a relationship, but the person that you want is saying, I'm not looking for a relationship, let it go. Let it go. Don't try to change somebody's mind, because yes, people's minds can change, but usually when somebody makes up their mind, they make up their mind. Stop having expectations for people if they already told you what to expect. Don't make up your own expectations. If they already told you, hey, this how I'm gonna be, this is what I want and this is what I don't want, don't be trying to make up your own list and be like, oh, I could change them. No. Listen to somebody when they say something the first time. Stop trying to go around Kiki and shoot your way into a different area. No, they said what they said. Stop trying to, no. Believe somebody the first time, please, because when you end up realizing they really don't want a relationship and you thought you could change them, now you're upset because they didn't really want a relationship even though they told you that. Like, just be mindful. Another thing that's important in relationships would be trust. If you can't trust your partner, what's the point? Like, I don't see the going through phones. I'm not doing it. If I feel like I have to go through your phone to make sure you're not cheating on me or that you're really faithful to me, I'm just not going to be with you. I'm not going to stress my mental out. I'm not going to do all that because I have my own problems to worry about. My own personal life. My own stuff going on. So I'm not, whether it's work, school, family life, whatever, you have your own things going on. You don't need anybody adding stress to that. A relationship is not supposed to add stress to your life. Yes, there's going to be times where a relationship goes through its, you know, trials and tribulations. Things are going to be hard because your own mental state, so it's going to make things a little more difficult. Yes, that's perfectly normal to go have highs and lows in a relationship. But if the stress is coming from something that is like about cheating or things of that nature, let it go. Don't stress yourself out like that. Don't do that. That's just, I don't even know. Like, I feel like if I feel like I can't trust you or I just get bad vibes, I won't even entertain you. So if you're somebody that's like, oh, I'm still gonna give you a chance, I mean, you can do that, but after a while, what you really waiting on? Because I don't know about nobody else, but if your instincts are telling you something, they're usually not wrong. I don't know how to explain it, but your instincts, your gut reaction usually know what is up. So if your gut reaction is, I can't trust this man, believe it. Save yourself the grief, the heartache, the tears, whatever the case is, I don't even know. Just do that, because don't even do it to yourself. And then I already talked about compromise. Make sure you're compromising, because a relationship is not always about what you want, what you want. Make sure you know the person knows also getting what they want, whether it's whatever, even if you don't feel like it's the best, you never know. Try something new. Compromise. Compromise does not mean give up everything that you want. Compromise means I'm willing to meet you halfway. I get half of what you want, you get half of what I want. Flip that, rearrange that. I get half of what I want, you get half of what you want, and we do it like that. And if somebody can't meet you halfway, they're not willing to give up anything to try to understand you, to be with you or whatever, and they're just stubborn and stuck in their ways, they're like, it's my way or no way, leave that person. Because somebody that's not even willing to try something new or try something your way to help you out, what are you with that person for? For what? You don't even like me enough to give it a chance of trying it my way / your way. It has to be your specific way. Bye. Boy, bye. Goodbye. Anyways, yeah. Let's move on. I know a lot of people be trying to, figure out, how do I get a boy to like me? Or how do I know if a boy likes me? How do I figure it out? Because, no lie, I'm not even embarrassed. I used to be that kid that would go on Google and be like, how to get my crush to like me. How to know if a boy likes me, because I used to have crushes, but I would have no idea how to, talk to them, how to know if they liked me. I would just be like on Google, like, okay, what do I do? Do they do that? Yeah. Do they do that? No. And then, you be delusional sometimes. You be like, I mean, he kind of does it, he kind of don't. And I know I'm not the only person that be looking that stuff up. I surely was looking it up, and because the fact that they had whole wiki sites lets me know I wasn't the only one looking it up. If they had to make a whole thingy, I was not the only one Google searching it. If you was one of those kids that Google searched it, let me know in the comment section down below, because I know I'm not the only one. And if I'm the only one, oh well. Oh well. Anyways, let's move on. How to get a guy to like you. I mean, you can never guarantee to make someone like you, but there are ways to better your chances. So let's see some of the ways, okay? The first way is to be friends. Friendship is the easiest way to get a guy to like you, or to find out if a guy likes you. Oopsies. The reason I say friendship is because when you're friends with somebody, you already are finding common interests. You already know how to hang out with each other. And it's a lot easier to talk to a friend than it is to talk to a guy you like. So if you make him your friend first and you just view him as a friend only, there's no pressure. A lot of pressure is off of you. You feel like less weight on you, where you're like, oh, does he like me? Does he not like me? Be friends first. Get to know him as a friend, because if he treats you good as a friend, chances are, hopefully, he treats you good as a girlfriend. And if he's a horrible friend, more likely than not, maybe not in every case, but a lot of times, he's probably going to be a horrible boyfriend. Sorry to break it to you. I'm not saying you get the same treatment in a relationship and a friendship, but a friendship is kind of the basis of how you're going to get treated in a relationship. A relationship is kind of like a friendship with extra packaging, with extra packages. You get a little more benefits within them, okay? So that's, don't be afraid to do things he likes when you're being friends, or if you're just hanging out with him, because if you start doing things that he likes, he starts associating you with those things that he likes. So if he's like, every time he thinks of you, his brain has the same reaction that it does to those things that he likes. Let's say he loves candy, okay? So every time he sees candy, his eyes light up. So you start eating his favorite candy, or every time you see him, you offer him a piece of candy, a piece of chip, a snack, whatever. Every time you see him, you offer him a snack. So now every time he sees you, he's going to be like, oh, excited. And why? Because you usually have a snack with you. And let's say one day you don't have a snack, or one day he's going to be like, dang, he's excited to see you. And now he doesn't know why, because he's like, usually he'll see a snack and it'll click for his brain. But now he doesn't see a snack, but he's still excited to see you. Or he'll have one of the snacks that you gave him, and he'll be like eating it, and he'll be a little more enthusiastic. And he's like, why am I a little more enthusiastic? Oh, because such and such gave this to me. So when you associate yourself with things that he likes, he starts associating with those things too. And then bada bing, bada boom, feelings transfer a little bit. Not always, sometimes. Disclaimer, sometimes. None of these are guarantees. These are just things I feel like that have worked for me and are easy conversation starters for me and things of that nature. Yeah, so just do things that he likes. And that usually gets you in for most of the part. Boys are easy. You ain't hear from me though. And then what else do I have to say? After a while, after you're done, you know, trying to get him to like you or see if he likes you or whatever, if he's showing you little to no interest, let it go. I know it's going to be hard. I know it's easier said than done, but try your best to move on, because what's the point of dwelling on something? Because if you're always looking at this one thing, you're missing everything that's passing you by. And by everything, I mean you're missing every potential boyfriend that you could have, every potential man that might like you, because you're looking at this one dude who's paying you dust. Okay? So if he's not showing you the type of reaction you want, he's not, you know, he's not showing you feelings, or you don't feel like he likes you like that, let it go. Let it go. If you tried and he's still not doing nothing, let it go. Just let it go. Yeah. So yeah, just let it go. And then also a for sure way to know if a guy likes you is to just ask him. I know you're probably like, ask a dude. I used to be the same way. I would never tell a guy I liked him. I don't care. I used to be like, I'm going to take it to the grave with me. A guy will never know if I like them or not, because I will never tell you. I can flirt with you all day. That don't mean I like you. And I used to tell them that too. The dudes I would like and I would flirt with, I'd be like, I can flirt with you all day, but that doesn't mean I like you. Whole time I'm having a huge major crush on them. Like, so yeah, just tell them. And if you feel like you're not something that could be like in person, because I could never tell nobody in person. I would always text people. I'd always be like, hey, how do you feel about me? And then if they'll be like, what do you mean? I'd be like, well, I kind of like you a little bit, or I'm, you know what, don't say I like you, because when people get a big head, say I'm feeling your vibe, meaning I like how we hang out, and I want to see if I could potentially like you more. It's an easy way in, easy way out. And if they're like, oh no, and I'm like, okay, that's cool, I was just feeling our vibe, and if you're not feeling it, then I'm not feeling it. You never said you liked him, you just said you wanted to explore if you could like him. Point blank period. I'm releasing all my secrets, but you know what? I don't really care, because it is what it is. I'm still running game. Period. Also, when trying to get a guy to like you, be confident. Even if you don't feel confident, fake it, because confidence attracts people. I promise you. If you're looking at yourself and you're telling yourself, and like, let's say you're not even telling yourself because you don't believe that you're confident. If you're telling the world, I'm that girl, I'm that girl, and you want to be my friend, you're telling the world, hey, you want to know me. You really want to get to know me because I'm that awesome. The world will be like, well, if she's that awesome and she's singing it to the world, then maybe I do want to get to know her. Fake the confidence till you make it. That's all I have to say. Fake it till you make it, because as many times as you talk trash about yourself, that's why you believe it. You told your okay, sorry. As many times as you told to yourself, I'm stupid, or I'm ugly, or I'm this, or I'm that. You've told yourself so many times that you're these negative things that you actually believe them now, don't you? You don't feel like you're pretty enough. You don't feel like, you know, you're that girl, whatever. And the only reason you feel that way is because you told yourself enough. And you've made yourself believe that other people believe that. Are there some people that might believe you're not the baddest thing walking? Yes, that goes for everyone. Should you care? No. Because what are these people doing for you? Are they putting a roof over your head? Are they the ones giving you your education or stopping you from getting an education? Are they putting clothes on your back? Are they feeding your soul emotionally? Are they doing something for your personal growth? If they're doing none of these things, then their opinion is mute. It don't matter. It don't matter. We don't care about them folks if they're not doing anything for us. Point blank period. So all them bad things you told yourself, toss them out the window. I know it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. But start telling yourself good things. Even if it's one thing, be like, look in the mirror and be like, I like my eyes today. They look really nice. or I like how the sun is hitting my skin today, or I have a few less acne bumps or scarring today, so I'm feeling myself a little bit more, or I love my lips, so I want to do it. Or if you're somebody with straight teeth, I love my teeth, I want to focus on that. Or I love my hair. Start on one thing, then find the next thing, then the next thing. And if you keep repeating yourself enough, if you keep telling yourself, I'm good enough, I'm pretty enough, your mind will believe it. Your mind will believe it. If you want a boyfriend, law of attraction. You keep telling yourself something enough, you keep telling yourself, I'm going to have it at one point, it's going to come to me at one point. Whether it's confidence, boyfriend, friendship, whatever, it's going to come to you. Say it enough, you're going to, boom, manifest it into your life. You got to work for it, but it's going to get there because you believe it's going to get there. So that's all I have to say. And when I say confident, I mean confident, not cocky. I don't mean you talking about some, you wish you looked like me, or you wish you were acting like me, or you wish you looked like, no, I don't like, that's cocky. When you tell people that they wish they were you, they wish they looked like you, or you tell somebody you wish your girlfriend looked like me, and that's cocky. That's cocky. And I'm never going to deny nobody beauty, because I'm going to give credit where credit is due. If you're beautiful, you're beautiful. Point blank, period. But it gets to a point where confidence turns to cocky. You be confident and be like, I look beautiful today. I'm that girl. I do what I got to do. I'm that girl. But when you start saying, oh, other people, when you start bringing other people into it, then it starts to get cocky. Then it starts to get a bad taste in people's mouth. So when I say confident, I mean confident. I don't mean cocky. So just be mindful of how you're coming off to people, what you're saying and how you're saying it. Let me put this water bottle down. So yeah, just be mindful of that. And my last and final note is put yourself first. I know this video is about relationships and friendships, but make sure within these relationships and friendships, you're putting yourself first. And what I mean by putting yourself first is, I mean taking care of your mental and emotional and physical health. Because if you're not aware, your mental and your emotional health has a huge toll on your physical self, on how you wake up in the morning, how you go to sleep at night, how you're going throughout the day. Are you tired? Are you enthusiastic? Are you just drowsy all day? Just make sure you're putting yourself first in that aspect. Make sure you can take care of yourself and that yourself is well taken care of. That way you can put energy into other people. Because constantly putting energy into other people but not yourself is draining. It's tiring. You can't be a good friend. You can't be a good girlfriend, boyfriend, significant other, or whatever the case may be, if you're not taking care of yourself, because at that point you become burnt out and drained, and you're not putting in real effort. So now everything's half done, half effort, and now relationship is going kaput, friendship is going kaput, because no one can rely on you because you're so burnt out, because you're not taking care of yourself. So make sure you're taking care of yourself before all else. I don't care what nobody tell you. You put yourself first every single time. Put yourself first. I don't care what nobody say. You put yourself first. Because once you've taken care of yourself, you can take care of others. You can't be trying to take care of others and you're over here dying. It don't work like that. Not in my book. Not in my house. Not in my friendship. I will let my friends put themselves before me 1,000 times over to make sure that they're good, and I will do the same. I will put myself over my friends 1,000 times over to make sure I'm good. We got to take care of ourselves before we can take care of each other. I can't help you if I'm already burnt out and dying because I'm not taking care of my mental, emotional, and physical health. So always put yourself first. And if you're in an unhealthy friendship, unhealthy relationship, try your best to get out of them. I know that's difficult for some people because, you know, abusive relationships are a thing. But if you have the chance, or if you have somebody that can help you get out of that place, please get out of that place as best as you can. I'm not, you know, rushing nobody, pushing nobody. Do what you got to do for you and what's best for you. People come to relationships on stuff on their own, so work at your own pace, realize things on your own pace. Do what works, what's best for you. That's all I got to say. And lastly, make sure you're healing before you start friendships and relationships, because you can't be starting something new and you're still dealing with past traumas, past hardships, past whatever. You gotta heal first, because if you're not healing, you're bringing all that baggage into the new relationship. Am I saying you're gonna always be completely healed? No, because wounds open up. It could be years down the line and you think you've healed, but you come to the realization, okay, there are some things I still need to work on, and that's fine. But what I mean is, don't just get out of a relationship and try to jump in a new one because you don't want to be lonely or you're afraid to be lonely. Don't do that. Or you just lost a friend, so now you need a new friend because you need somebody to confide in. It's okay to be alone sometimes. It's okay to confide in yourself and just listen to yourself. Your body knows what to do. Sometimes it might not feel like that, but you might be scared to be alone. But once you are alone and you start to learn new things about yourself, you're kind of like, oh, I'm a dope person. I'm cool. I'm that girl. I'm that girl. And you can't touch me. If you aren't confident in who you are and you're okay with being alone and you let that be known, I promise you, them horrible friendships, them horrible relationships will melt away. They'll go away. Not always, but it helps. Because y'all, I can't speak. Manipulative, you know what word it is. And toxic people go for people who, I wouldn't say are weak-minded, but at the time aren't at their best or their strongest, because they go for vulnerable people who they know they could easily take advantage of. So if you're confident in who you are as a person, you know you'll be okay if you're alone, and you know you don't have to rely on nobody, it helps a lot. I'm not saying don't ever rely on people. Yes, rely on people, rely on friends. But make sure at the end of the day, you're still who you are as a person. Whether if you have a stack of cash, you're broke, you're in a relationship, you're not in a relationship, you're in a friendship, you're not in a friendship. Just make sure you take care of yourself first and you're confident in who you are as a person. And it takes a lot to get there. Am I there 100%? I wish. But just work on it daily, and maybe one day we'll all get there. Once I get there, I'll let y'all know. So yeah. Just, be confident, be yourself, and whatever is meant for you will come for you. If it's not meant for you, let it pass. If you gave your left foot and they still don't want to be around, or they still not giving you the effort you want, pay them folks dust, because you are that girl. You are that girl. And if they don't realize that, worms for brains. And be mindful, everybody's not going to fit in with everybody. Everybody's not meant for everybody. You might think, oh, this might be a cool person. And they might be a cool person, but they might just not be the cool person for you. So, be mindful of that. And I'm just going to keep rambling, so I'm going to go ahead and cut myself off. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know in this class. I can't speak. Let me start it back. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. My social media will be down in the description link below. Make sure you guys comment if you like the video or not. If you want to see more videos like this. If there's a specific topic you want me to talk about, you can always DM me. If you don't feel comfortable DMing me, you could just ask me for my email and be like, I want this to be anonymous. Whatever the case may be. I'm here for you guys. So, see y'all next Wednesday. Bye.